Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon. Of course, if you have not been here before, welcome. If you have been here, of course, welcome back. So today's video, I'm going to be testing out the new Huda Nude palette. I just got it in the mail yesterday. So this is it. How pretty is the freaking packaging? But we're going to be trying this on the eyes today. It is going to be a first impression, so it's not going to be like a full review or anything of the palette. If you do see me looking down, I do have a monitor set up down here on my laptop because this is kind of the best area for lighting, and I needed to be able to see myself while I actually put this on. So we're going to jump right into the video, test it out. I'll give you some info on it. If you guys are interested in seeing that, then just keep watching. Alright guys, so I'm going to show you the packaging first. So this is what the unicarton kind of look like. Hopefully you can see that. It's not, the lighting isn't too bright. So that's what it looks like. It has all the info, of course, on the back of the palette. And this is the actual palette itself. So it's really pretty. It's just Huda and her eyes. It's a nude palette, of course, or her version, the new kind of nude palette it's called. And then it has some info about the shadows and what's included kind of ingredient-wise in the shadows. It is an 18 pan palette. It does have a mirror. So that is what the shadows look like. How freaking pretty are those shadows? Like, they look so gorgeous. When I seen this released, I kind of was trying to convince myself not to buy it because I felt like I didn't need it, but I really like the shades in this, and I've been loving kind of the pinky mauve tones on my eyes recently. If you follow me on Instagram at shannonshaws.beauty, you will know that because I post a lot of photos there. So I'm going to give you some info on it. So there's 18 eyeshadows, as I said. There's 5 they call ready to layer textures, 10 mattes, 4 multi-reflective shadows, and I think those are like the new shadows you kind of see in here with the flex. So like this one right here. And then there is also 2 pressed glitters, 1 pressed pearl, and there is a concealer base in here as well, and it's that shade right there. That is the concealer base. We will try that out today. I really want to try out some of the glitters, I think, too, even though it's kind of extra, but I kind of want to try those out. But yeah, she released this recently. I think it is sold out, unfortunately, since it did come out during the VIB or the Rouge sale. I did pick mine up during that time, so I was able to save 20% off, which was awesome. I don't know when this will be coming back in stock, but definitely sign up on Sephora for updates, or you can check Huda's site as well. But yeah, this has a 12-month shelf life in case you are interested. I think obviously it'll last longer than that. She does have 2 other palettes like this. The first one released was the rose gold, and then there was a second palette that was like a purpley tone palette. I never picked that up, but everyone loved it, but I never picked it up and I cannot think of the name of it. Let me know in the comments. I can't think of it for the life of me, and I don't have my phone right beside me, but if you can think of it, let me know. But yeah, I didn't pick that one up. But the next one was the Rose Gold Remastered, which she wasn't supposed to be re-releasing, but she did. A lot of people were upset about it. I did pick it up because I didn't have the first one. And I wasn't overly impressed, so that's what kind of made me hesitate on this one. Like, I like the mattes in that palette and I still use it, but I didn't care for the shimmer shades in that one. I do have a full review on that. I'll pop that up into the cards if you guys want to check it out, or I may put it down in the description box as well. Always open my description box for all that info. But yeah, guys, without talking too much more now, I will give you the pricing on this for the US. If you're in the US, it's costs $65 US. If you're in Canada, it's 85 Canadian dollars. But that's all the info I'm going to give you on it. We're going to hop into actually trying the palette out. So if you want to see that, we're going to hop right over. Alright guys, so I have you zoomed in a bit. So we're just going to do my eyes from here. I do have my cat ears on just to kind of keep my hair a little bit out of my face. Now, I didn't mention, but I did come on camera obviously without makeup on, just in case there was like a bunch of fallout with this palette. I don't really want it to get all over my face, but I will let you guys know if there is fallout, obviously. Alright, so I'm going to go in straight with that concealer base just to kind of like test it out. So I'm just going to go in on my finger, actually. It feels creamy, but definitely a little bit hard, which is good. You don't want it to be too creamy so that it creases. Now, I did have a little bit of something on. I actually had an Essence primer on. I probably shouldn't have put this on, but I wanted to try it out, so whatever. We'll try it. I'm not sure. It's pretty, like, it's not like super opaque, so I don't know. I feel like this would work good over shadows, but I don't know if it would be like great if you want to like cancel out veins and things like that, but it feels good on the eyes. It feels pretty good. So I'm not even gonna really set that a lot. I think I will. I'm gonna take the shade Bare, which is this like cream shade down here. I'm gonna put this all over this Real Techniques brush. I use it all the time. I don't think it's available anymore, but I like it, so we're gonna use it. And I'm just using the mirror from this palette. This is why I like palettes with mirrors, because they just make my life so much easier when I'm filming. I don't have a table, I'm actually standing when I film, so it makes my life easier if there's a mirror. Okay, so we'll set that down just a little bit. I don't want it to set down. I still want it to be a bit tacky. I just hit myself over here, but that's all right. All right, so what color do I want to go with? I think I kind of want to go with the shade Tickle. This shade right here. I think I want to go in with that shade because it looks like so friggin' pretty. So I'm going to put my brush in there. So there is some fallout. You guys can see that in the pan. It's nothing too major though, and I don't mind fallout, so I'm cool with that. As long as these shadows blend out okay, then I don't mind. I'm really gonna place that. Who did I see do this a lot? Jack Emery, Makeup by Jack. He always places his shadow really deeply into the crease. I never get mine as good as him, but I have been trying to do that more and then like blending it out because it just like really makes your shadows pop. So far so good. I mean, it's not too bad. I like that shade. It's really, really pretty. Yeah, it's a really, really pretty shade actually. All right, so now we're gonna go in on this side. Alright guys, so I have that shade all in my crease. I think it looks pretty good. It looks like more than one color to be honest, so I'm kind of impressed with that. I'm gonna blow that little extra powder from my palette. I think I'm gonna go in next with the shade right here, the shade Spanked. Interesting shade names. I'm gonna use that same brush actually. And I'm just gonna bring it down a little bit closer to the crease and on the outer edge. So I'm not going to blend this one up as high. Ooh, it's really pretty. Blend it a little bit onto the eye too. How pretty does that shade look? Super, super pretty, right? All right, so I kind of got that shade to where I want it. Now I'm gonna go in, I think I'm gonna go with the deepest shade, which is right beside that. That is Love Bite, this one here. And I'm gonna go in with a Delium Tools. This is a 783 small tapered blending brush. That's it right there. I know it looks dirty, but it's really not. It's just it has white bristles and it always looks dirty, so we're gonna roll with it. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of that shade on there and we're gonna go in and kind of like stamp that on the outer part of the eye. I don't wanna go too crazy with this just in case it's hard to blend. I am not an expert at blending these kind of shades, so just be aware, I am not a makeup artist. I just actually like to do my makeup. Hopefully my face doesn't look too like crazy when I'm doing this because I always look like a little cray when my mouth does when I'm doing my eyes. So it's not looking too bad so far. I feel like I want something a little smaller. I think I'm gonna go in with this Morphe, what is this? This wasn't a Morphe Me like subscription thing. It's an RG18. Probably can't get this either, I'm sorry guys, but I like this one. So I'm just focusing that on my crease and that outer part of my eye. I don't want to make it like too dark, so I think we're gonna kind of go like that. And then I'm gonna take that color I used a minute ago, Spanked, and I'm just gonna kind of like soften it up with that. Ooh, that's really pretty actually. What do you guys think? I think it looks really pretty. All right, so I'm gonna speed you up and we're gonna do this side. Okay, so I kind of have that to where I want it. I'm gonna clean this up a bit, obviously, because there's a little bit that I want to clean up. I do think that that purple shade blended out pretty good. I mean, I'm not amazing at those shades, so it's kind of sometimes hard for me to tell. But I think overall it looks pretty good. I'm just kind of finagling here. But I'm going to kind of like clean this up obviously with some concealer and when I do my foundation and stuff. But so far I think it looks pretty good. I think I want to go in with, let me see here what I want to use. So I think I'm actually going to go in with that concealer shade again down here. And I'm going to try to like carve out a little bit, not like too crazy, like probably not like super cut crease, but something just carved out a little bit for some of those shimmers to adhere. Ooh, I had something on my brush. Okay, so I had to go ahead and clean this brush. By the way, this is an Alamar brush. It came in BoxyCharm. It was like a 3-piece set. You can purchase it on their site. I will link it down below. But I had something on this and it got in my concealer. So now I'm going to dip in and get some of that concealer after I dirtied it. And we're going to just kind of tap this on. I can tell you right now I don't like this as much as I like a normal concealer. I honestly feel like this isn't like opaque enough for concealer. I mean, it'll work for a tacky base, but it's definitely pulling shadow. Yeah, like you can see like it's not creating much of a crease cut, but that's okay because we're not trying for that. But just in case you are someone that wants to do that, I think you'll have to use just like a normal concealer. So I think for a shimmer, what do I want to go in with? What do I want to go in with for my eye look? Everyone has been using the shade Charmed. I think I want to go in with, ooh, I really like Fantasy. I think I'm gonna go in with this Fantasy shade. It's really pretty. I'm gonna go in with just this brush actually that I use for my concealer. I'll wipe it off a little bit. I'm gonna go in with this one and then I'm gonna try with my finger because I think my finger is gonna work best. Yeah, this isn't picking up a ton. These feel really like creamy, almost like a cream. I don't know. And when you touch them, the kind of stuff like all goes in together. Like those specks kind of disappear. So, okay, I mean, you can see that. I definitely think this would be quicker though with a finger. So I'm just gonna do my outlining parts and then I'm gonna go in with a finger. But I mean, it's picking up on the brush. It's definitely better than like the rose gold formula. It's an interesting texture for sure. Ooh, it's really pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna take one on this finger. Ooh. Okay, the finger's like the way to go with these. Like that looks so much better. And it's going on so pretty over top of, I guess some of my corner here. It's going over pretty over top of my concealer base. We're going to try to blend that a little bit because I got it really down there. Ooh, that's really pretty. Can you guys see that really well? Isn't it pretty? So pretty. I have a little bit of fallout, nothing too crazy though, which is good. I think I kind of want to dip into the shade Daydream. I think I want to dip into that shade. Why not? We're going to try to put that one in the, I'm going to take a brush first. And I'm going to try to put this in here. Just to like lighten up there. Okay, we're going to go with the finger. Oh, yeah. That is like the most foiled eyeshadow. Like, is it coming off on camera how foiled this is? I just want to use them all now. Like, I literally want to just put every shade on my eye now. That is so gorgeous. That's so, so pretty, guys. Like, these mix really well together too. Like, you could layer one and then put the other one on top. Wow, it looks really, really pretty. So gorgeous. Okay, so we're gonna go in with a little bit of those glitters. I think I'm just gonna go in straight with the glitter and not put a glitter glue down because it feels pretty good. I'm gonna go in with the shade Infatuated, this one here. It looks like really, it's got all kinds, it's like a pinky, it's got like gold, it's got all different colors. I'm just excited. So let's just pop this on. I actually have a little bit of that concealer base. I just tapped into it to make it sticky to see if I can pick some up on this brush. Oh yeah, it picked up a good amount actually. I don't know if you can see that. I think this will fall out for me not putting glitter glue down, but for the sake of this video, we're not going to. How gorgeous is that? Can you see that? Oh my goodness, that is so pretty, guys. I know I'm talking in like a crazy voice, but that is so pretty. And I'm looking at my viewfinder. I really like it. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. This video is going to be 100 years long, but it is beautiful. I think I'm going to do the other eye off camera, and then we'll come back and I will actually do the rest of my face makeup, and then we'll come back and just do the under eye part. But that's what it's looking like so far. I think it's beautiful. I will be right back. Alright guys, so my battery is low, but I finished off the rest of my makeup and I finished the other eye. I think it looks really good. I think the sparkles are really pretty. It hasn't fallen out yet and I didn't use a glitter glue, so I'll try that out throughout the day. And when I post, I'll update that in the description box or in the comments if it actually flaked down on my cheeks. Now if it does, most generally I would use a glitter primer, so just be aware of that. It's not a big deal, but I just wanted to let you guys know. So I actually put on the Huda foundation as well as the Huda concealer, so I have them here. The Huda foundation is like one of my absolute favorite foundations. Like I love this, I use it all the time. I can actually see me going through that foundation, which is really crazy. So we are going to go in and just finish up the lower lash line. I'm just going to smoke it out. I'm actually not going to do any type of liquid liner because I really don't think this look needs it. But I think what I'm going to do is go in with a mix of these two shades that I used kind of to deepen up the crease area. And then I'm going to actually blend it out with the shade Tickle. So I'm going to go in with, what brush do I want to use? So I'm going to go in with this BH Cosmetics brush, and I'm just going to put that on the underneath with a mix of those two colors, Love Bite and Spanked. We'll get that under there. We're just going to put it as close to the lash line as we can. Alright, so I'm just going to go in with that shade Tickled, and we're going to smoke that out. Alright guys, so I am back. So I finished the entire look. I didn't get to finish showing me completely blending out the lower lash line, but that's fine. My camera actually died, so I had to actually charge it. I don't have a second battery. You did miss me going in with the shade Crave right down here. I just put that on my inner corners and up along my brow bone. It picked up really well on just like a little crease brush, so in case you're wondering, I had no issues with that shade. I think the look turned out beautiful. I haven't had any fallout as far as the glitter so far, so that's awesome too. So I think that concealer base actually does a pretty good job. I will say I'm not like the biggest fan of having it in this palette though. I'd rather just have a different eyeshadow because like as you can see it's already dirty and it's gonna get dirtier. Like some of those shades are gonna fall into it, the glitters, the fleck shades, like it's just gonna be really messy. I will continue to use it though just because it's in the palette and why not? I mean, it does help adhere some of the shimmers and things in the palette. Overall, I really enjoyed it. You could see on camera the mattes that I did use blended out pretty well. I do need to obviously play with this a lot more to give you a full review, but I like it so far. My first impression, I like this a lot better than I like the Rose Gold Remastered. And I do definitely think this is kind of like a new nude palette in that a lot of these tones are very similar to what you see people using right now. I love these tones on my eyes. I think they just look really good on my eyes, so that's why I enjoy using them. Now, I have had some questions about comparison palettes. One that was mentioned was the Laura Lee palette. Now, I know a lot of people don't like Laura Lee. I bought this before all the controversy, by the way, but I actually like this palette. Someone in a beauty group that I follow actually asked if I could compare the two as far as shades. So I can see how people may think they're similar because of the packaging. It's both like a nude palette and like different takes on a nude palette. So this is the Laura Lee palette. It's pretty dirty. I use it all the time. But I don't think these are terribly similar at all, actually, when I compare them. So that's just, I don't know if you guys can see those all on camera, but like, I don't find those terribly similar. I feel like there's like a couple cream shades that are maybe the same, and you could probably dupe out this shade with one of the shades in the Huda palette, but I just don't see the similarity. This one is more of like a corally kind of pink tone with some neutral kind of browns, whereas this Huda one doesn't have any browns. It's definitely all like berry tones, and then it has kind of like the pink mauve tones, and it has some cream shades just for like the crease area. There's no real brown shades, I don't think, in this. Like there's a little bit of maybe like a brown undertone in these shades down here, but they're definitely pull more on the mauve pink tone. So I don't think those two really have many similar shades. If you were curious about that, I would compare this more to something like the Naked Cherry. So I'll pull that one out. I'm just going to pull the brush out of this one. Yeah, so I would consider it more like something like the Naked Cherry that you see here. Like this one has kind of similar tones. So if you have both of those palettes, they definitely do have kind of like similar tones to them. Personally, so far, I'm liking the Huda one better. The Naked one's really nice though. I wore it yesterday and I got a lot of compliments on the eye look. I just think this one's really pricey, $66, and I know this one is too, but the Naked palette only comes with 10 shades and this comes with 18 shades. And I just think overall, I kind of like the tones, like the different textures, not the tones. I like because they're similar tones, but I like the different textures that she included in this, and kind of the Urban Decay is just like their standard shimmer and matte palette. But I do like that one. I think they're very similar, so if you have that one, you don't necessarily need this. But if you want to try something with a little bit different textures, different shimmers, the pressed glitters, then you probably want to go with this one, and you get a few more shades. And not that, I mean, it is a bigger price tag, but honestly, the Urban Decay one is around like 66 Canadian, so it's still pricey as well for only 10 shadows. Another palette I thought of in relation to this was the ColourPop. This one just released on Mean Girls Day, the Ooh La La palette. This one is definitely more pink though. It's supposed to be, but it's definitely more pink toned, whereas this one's more pink mauve-y toned. But just to compare, that's what the two of those look like. So hopefully you can see those, but that's what those two look like. I love this color, this ColourPop palette, by the way. I use it all the time. And this was really inexpensive. I'm not sure if it's still available, but if it is, I'll link it down below, as well as the other palettes I mentioned. But overall, for this first impressions, I do like it. I like how the look turned out. It looks really beautiful. If I have any updated comments, I will put them down below. If you guys did like this video though, make sure you do give me a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button down below, as well as the notification bell, because you guys know I'm not the most frequent poster. Hit that so you get notified of my videos. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye guys.